Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and we're just about to venture into the dancer pose. This pose is a standing balance, and it's a back bend, and it's a core strengthener, it's a glute strengthener, it's just and an arm stretcher. So it's just everything you would want in a pose. It's and what we're doing is we're kind of this is part of the group of classes I've taught all week. You don't have to do the whole 5, but you could do one at a time if you'd like. This is just piggybacks off of the core strengthener which we did yesterday, which was the plank. And there's a lot more stretchy parts to this class. As the plank one from yesterday was a little bit more geared towards strength. So we're going to get started. Our theme for today is to start the day with a smile, and I know that this might be not the very beginning of the day, it might be actually the end of the day, it might be in the middle of the day. It doesn't matter when you start just smile. Start your moment with a smile. Even if it doesn't feel right, let yourself just take a moment and just turn the corners of your mouth up into a Buddha smile, which isn't a fake smile. It's more just let your brain take on the fact that you're okay, that you're not upset, just even for a moment, to help us to start to kind of come out of a mood. Obviously, if it's something very, very serious and very, very, and you're in the middle of grief, then that's not going to work, and I don't expect you to. But, just an ordinary day when you're grumpy. So that's basically what it's all about. Let's take our seat. Let's sit on maybe a cushion if that's comfortable to you, or on a block or a blanket. Sit up nice and tall, and either allow your eyes to close or to look towards the ground with a soft gaze, and begin to connect with your breath. Let's go into our Zen state. Let's be here now. So let your eyes soften, whether they're open or they're closed. Also the face, relax the facial muscles, the forehead, the cheeks, the lips. And every time you breathe into that rib cage, and every time you breathe out, there's a slight pulling in of the belly, and there's a softening down and releasing of any worries or concerns that you're carrying. Let's do 3 more breaths. And then just 1 more deep breath in. And then let the air out of the mouth. Let the air go. Just exaggerate and expel all the air that you can out of your lungs. And then let's come back to just more of the ujjayi, regular inhaling and exhaling through the nose. I will actually come off of my seat, my cushion, for the next one. And then place your hands on your knees, and you can change the cross now just to change things up a little bit. And then let's do some gentle circles around to the right. So forward is the inhalation, and as you lean back, exhalation. Half the circle's an inhalation, a half is an exhalation. So let's do another 3 circles in this direction. Breathing in and out. Feeling that spine loosen up. And then we meet back at right in the front of our between our legs forward, and then inhaling and exhaling around to the other side. So going in the opposite direction, reclosing the eyes if you wish. That feels nice to stay, that's easier to stay connected. Breathing in and out, loosening up, warming up the spine. Let's take one more circle around, and the next inhalation, let's come up nice and tall, lifting up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Take your shoulders, lift them to your ears, and then just drop them down. Inhale, lift the shoulders to your ears and just drop them down. One more time, inhale, lift. This time, reach your arms up to the sky and bend the elbows. Come into what they call cactus arms with the palms facing forward, and lean back a little bit, just gently opening up the front of the body and the shoulders. So the front of those shoulders. And then release the arms down. Take your hands on the knees or slightly below. Cup those knees and lean back into a cat shape. So these are mainly cat and cow stretches. And maybe the arms are straight or there's a slight bend to them, chin towards chest. And then inhale, lift back up and let the chest telescope forward, lift the chest forward, and then exhale. Draw the tummy in and draw the chest in towards, contract that chest in towards the back. So as if your chest is being pulled backwards, and then inhale, open it. Open that chest as if it's being drawn forward. One more set, back, pushing the back of your upper back towards to the wall behind you, and then inhale the chest forward towards the wall in front of you. And then let's lift up nice and tall. Let's come on to our right hip and come on to our hands and knees. Knees are hip distance apart. Let's sit back into a child's pose. This is the pose you can always take a child's pose whenever you feel like you need to take a break. Forehead resting on the ground. My head is up just because I'm teaching, but let your forehead touch the ground. And what that does is that immediately sends a little message to your brain that you're safe. There's a pressure point on your forehead, which is when it's being touched in any way, it's a very soothing. It has a soothing reaction to the rest of the body. Let's inhale into your tabletop. Let's walk your knees slightly back and arms slightly forward. Spread the fingers and then just drop your pubic bone towards the ground, not to touch the ground, but just towards. Slide the shoulder blades down and then exhale. Round through your spine and press back into that child's pose. Keep your arms, the hands where they are. And then inhale, float forward through your cow, arch your lower back, and exhale, just let yourself drop down, opening up the front of the body, and then exhaling, rounding through the spine, pressing back. You can go at your own pace. We're doing another 3 sets. So it might be faster, it might be slower, inhaling as you go forward and exhaling as you come back. So at your own pace. It really depends on what you need for today. So it's just today, this moment we're concerned with. What does my body need now? Every moment your body needs something different. It's not ever, never the same. And then one more time, come onto that, come down into that cow shape with your pubic bone towards the ground, and then just lower yourself down onto your tummies. Slide the elbows, forearms on the ground until the elbows are underneath your shoulders. You can see a direct line, it's in a 90-degree angle. Wrists and shoulder and elbows are in line as well. Press the big toes into the ground. Take a breath in. Just lift the pubic bone off the ground just for a moment, then exhale. Press the pubic bone down. Tummy touches the ground. The lower part of your rib cage maybe is in touch with the ground. Then lift your heart forward. Opening the heart forward to the front of the mat. And then let's hold but breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Then take a breath in and simply take your right arm and swing and pivot it around till the forearm is parallel to the front of the mat, and bend your left leg. Now, some of us will not be able to touch the left foot, so you just place the left hand on the ground and twist. Those that can actually grab hold of that left foot, pull that heel towards your bottom cheek. See if you can place the hand on top of the top of the foot, opening up that left shoulder. Push into that right arm underneath you. So we're stretching out the tops of our thighs, our glute muscles, our shoulders, and then swing around. Come back onto those forearms again. And then we'll do the other side. So just take your left arms, pivot on that left elbow, swing it around till the fingers of that left hand are right behind the right elbow, or maybe slightly in front or forward. Bend your right leg and take your right hand behind. If you can grab a hold of that foot, that's great. If not, place that right hand on the ground and simply twist. If you can grab a hold of that right foot, place the hands of the right hand on top of the foot with the fingertips pointing down so that the right shoulder can open. Getting us warmed up for our dancer pose. Come back onto our tummies. This time, come all the way down. Kiss the ground with your forehead, and then slide the hands next to your chest and lift up into your tabletop. Press back into your child's pose, but keep your arms reaching forward. This is an extended child's pose. This is where some people will come to if they can't do a downward dog for that long or at all. So that might be where you go. Otherwise, if you're a downward dog person, curl the toes under, exhale, downward dog. Knees can be soft here or bent, whatever your body needs at this moment. If it's just simply a stretch in the backs of those legs, then keep your legs semi-straight, or the knees are soft or bent if you have back issues. Or pedal the feet. Bend one knee and straighten the other leg and go back and forth. Maybe the whole body is in the mood to sway. So stay here for another 2 breaths, doing what feels just right for you. And then let's come back to stillness. Let's take a breath in, and as you exhale, walk your feet to the front of the mat, coming into your forward bend. So we do this in all yoga classes, forward bends, downward dogs. They're always in every single class you'll ever take. But everyone is different. And there's never the same. You think it is, but it's not. I want you to notice maybe the difference you feel right now. You might not remember yesterday's. But whatever you're feeling now is not going to be identical to yesterday's experience. So your body might need a little bit of swaying from side to side. You might want to cradle the elbows with your arms, hands, and then let's all come back to center. Release the hands from the elbows. I want you to bend your knees and come into a squat for just a moment, waking up those thighs. Sweep your arms back behind you. You can always place the hands on your lower back, just let them settle there. Some of us can interlace the hands and lift the hands off your lower back. You can also use a strap to grab onto if you cannot interlace your hands. If you have very tight shoulders, this is not so easy. But it does take time. And then maybe straighten those legs if that feels okay. My hands, I'm pretty flexible in my shoulders, and primarily because I do this all the time. I was not like this when I first started. Place the hands on your lower back and let the arms float down to the ground. Now what I want you to do, I want us to roll up ragdoll, but let the arms dangle. So dangle to the point where there's nothing there, as if your arms don't even exist. And roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. And once you get to the top, just squeeze the shoulder blades together. Palms are facing one another. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, roll back down. Step back into a downward dog or that extended child's pose. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, step your right foot between your hands. And float up into your high lunge. You can always place that knee down and do a lower lunge if that's easier, or that's, you feel better doing that. Bring the hands behind your head or place it on your lower back. But if you can do it behind your head, interlace them, place your head in your hands. Elbows are open, but you can see them in your peripheral vision. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, push the head into the hands, open up the heart. Powerful move. Your back leg is bent as well. There's a slight bend. Soften the shoulders down, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, place the hands back on the ground, step your left foot forward, you're at the front of your mat again, forward fold. Take an inhale, let the arms dangle, they're not part of your body, and you're rolling up. Rolling up, rolling up. There's nothing there. You're being pulled up by a string. Your head is the very last to come up. And then let your arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, let your arms just dangle. My speech starting to stutter a little bit, okay? Take an inhale and exhale. Let's lower ourselves back down. Let's step back into your downward dog or that extended child's pose. If you remember extended child's pose like this, yeah. You might eventually be able to do the downward dog, but if you can, downward dog. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, step your left foot forward and keep your back toes curled under. Left knee is bent, no further than your ankle. Slightly behind the ankle or above it, but nowhere else. If it's forward of the ankle, you can actually cause knee problems. Your back knee can be softened here, bent, or down on the ground. Hands on the lower back, or bring your hands behind your head. Interlace with the unfamiliar interlace. Push your head into those hands. And let yourself feel that stretch in the front of the body as you're leaning back. This is powerful spinal stretch. Great for the dancer pose. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower the hands down to the ground, and you're stepping your right foot forward into your forward fold. Take a breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Take an inhale, and let's exhale. Instead of rolling up, let's sweep the arms out to the sides, palms facing up, and lift all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up to the sky. Let's interlace the hands except for the index fingers, and let's stretch over to the right. Your legs can be together or hip distance apart. I'm going to bring my legs together. Little extra inner thigh squeeze. Inhale, lift back up as if you're being pulled up by that finger, those fingers. And then stretch over to the left. And then inhale, lift back up. And then release the arms down to the sides. Open the feet hip distance apart. And we're going to lift the right leg up. I'm going to just spin around. You don't have to spin around just so you can see me. You're lifting your right leg up to a 90-degree angle. We're not here doing the dancer yet. Take your left hand on the outside of that right thigh. Sweep your right arm back. So you're twisting. If you want a little extra for those that find this quite easy, grab your right big toe and straighten. I'm going to do the regular twist. Keep your hips squared forward. Then lower that right foot down. Bring your chest forward. Do a few little shakes of the hips and the ankles. And then let's come back to hip distance apart, using your right foot to ground down, and then lift your left leg up. Right knee, the standing knee, is soft. Right hand on the outside of that left thigh, and then sweep that left arm back. You can do that, grab hold of that big toe I'm not going to do that, I'll probably fall over. And then place the foot down and spin yourself forward. Sweep your arms up. High five someone behind you and then lift those arms up. And let's exhale, forward fold. Oh, this is a wonderful stretchy class today. And some strengthening as well. Inhaling halfway, either on the shins or on the fingertips, blocks. Step back into a downward dog or that extended child's pose. Press back, 2 breaths here. Breathing in and breathing out. Lowering the knees down. If you are in a downward dog, let's take another, just 1 breath. But long, steady breath in your child's pose. Forehead resting on the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's inhale back into your tabletop. Spreading those fingers, index fingers pointing forward at that 12 o'clock point. Press into those toes, exhale to your downward dog. And then find your way. If you're a leaper, you can jump. If you're not, walk to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Take another ragdoll roll. Let the arm, actually, no, I'm going to have you spin the arms up. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bend the knees and sweep your hands up towards the sky, palms reaching up. Lift, 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 all the way up to the top, and let the hands float to your heart. Take a pause, breathing in. And out, softening the shoulders down. Opening your eyes, letting the arms drop next to your sides. We're now into our dancer pose. Lifting that right leg up into that 90-degree angle. You could always place a hand on a wall or on a chair. Kick your right leg back. Right hand, grab hold of the outer edge of the foot or the inner edge if you want a little bit more of a shoulder opener. Make sure your knees are in line. Some of us, we stay right here. That's just enough. Left arm up. There's no movement other than this. Otherwise, the dancers, when you move deeper into the dancer pose, is by kicking your right leg back and your left arm forward, leaning forward. So if you're trying to reach something in front of you and you're trying to kick something behind you. Breathe in and breathe. If you fall, that's okay. Just come back into it or take a break. Take an inhale and exhale, come back, and then lower the foot down. And do a few little hip movements, shoulders, loosen up. You could feel your heart rate starting. I don't know if you feel it, but I do. So that's now we have the other side. Prepare first, it's always important. Grounding through that right foot, lifting your left leg up into that 90-degree angle. And you might say, I'm going to put my hand on a wall. Kick that left leg back. Take your left hand either on the outside or the inside of that left foot. Knees are in line. You can kind of peek down. That standing knee is soft, not locked. Now, some of us will just lift the arm up and we won't go any further. Some of us will start to lean forward and kick your left foot into that left hand. Right arm reaches forward, looking towards something that's not moving. Something on the ground. Breathing in. It's intense. Lots of things happening here. Lots of strengthening and stretching, and then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, release. And just shake out those legs. Shake, shake. Straddle your mat for a moment. Turn your toes slightly in. Take your hands on your hips and lean down. Come into a forward bend. That might be a nice way to just stretch out your back. Turn your toes slightly in and heels slightly out. Knees are soft. If you cannot touch the ground, you can always put blocks in front of you or simply just place your hands on your thighs. Sometimes I use a chair for my classes. Drop your head, peek between those legs. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, just bring your hands over to the foot that's pointing towards the front of the mat and swivel that foot towards the front of the mat. And then curl the back toes under, step back into a downward dog. And then lower your knees to the ground. Come onto that right hip and spin your legs forward. And then from here, scoot your bottom towards your heels, and we're lowering ourselves down, not flopping down, not collapsing down, but lowering down, which means you're a little bit more controlled and purposeful when it comes to lowering onto your back. Once the back of the head touches the ground, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll from side to side. The beauty of the dancer pose, it really is everything you can imagine you're working in your body. I mean, it's quite a difficult pose. So don't drop the knees to the left, turn your gaze to the right. You're now in a spinal twist. Try and get that right shoulder down. If you cannot, slide the feet a little bit lower towards the bottom of the mat, lower than the hips. Or if you find this is quite easy, you could keep your knees, bring the knees higher. Or the little added piece to it, you can straighten your right leg. And maybe grab hold of the toe or the ankle. Turning the gaze towards your right arm. And then rebend your right knee. Bring your knees back, roll onto your back again, hug your knees into your chest, and if you want a little bit more of a full body stretch, bring your forehead to your knees, flex the feet, and that's also a tummy toner. You get several things in one. Lower your head to the ground, open the arms out to the sides and drop your knees to the right, and turn your gaze to the left. Same thing on this side. If your left shoulder is off the ground, you might want to take your feet a little bit lower. Just explore. Turn your gaze to the left. So I teach classes 5 days a week. So most of my classes are in the mornings or lunchtime. And they're 30-minute classes. And we started off just doing it just as an experiment and found it was very effective, and it actually is better for people to do little and often rather than once a week for an hour and a half. Bring your knees towards your chest. It's actually safer for your body. Hug your knees into your chest. Now we're going into Shavasana. Bring your left foot to the left corner of the mat, right foot to the right corner of the mat. Let your arms open a few inches from your body, palms facing up. Feet open out just naturally to the sides. Close your eyes and chin is tucked as if you have an apple between your chin and your chest. And you're going to rest here in Shavasana. Final resting pose, that's what that means. Corpse for the next 2 to 5 minutes. While you're resting, I'm going to come up and seal the practice. Continue in your resting pose. And I know in the YouTube you'd have to turn it off. Or there's a way you can not have it go into the next video. I don't know how to do that, but you might know how to. So that you can actually take advantage of this wonderful, peaceful, nurturing time for yourself. And as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal our practice for today, looking forward to tomorrow's class where we will be concentrating on the crow, which is an arm balance, very basic. These are all basic beginner type poses, but powerful. Have a lovely, lovely day, everyone. Smile. Smile. Remember, a smile can change your day. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you enjoy these classes, try the daily online live yoga classes. You can find the details at yogawithrebeccajane.com. Have a lovely day, everyone. I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, comment,